I'm sorry. Have a seat.
Hey, this your boy Velly, man. Welcome back to the channel, and further down the rabbit hole we go, man. X scroll number 8. And you know, shit just get weirder from here, man. It ain't no more sunny days. Ain't nothing but a whole bunch of weird shit from here on, man. Let's get into it. And we're just gonna start this off by saying, man, y'all better quit taking that Bill Gates juice. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's get into it.
People don't want to talk about the pandemic at this point and how we build the capacity.
You know, I don't know how he just start talking about a pandemic and so giggity and happy. Like, you know, I know a lot of people who died because they didn't get the right treatment and stuff during that time. Like, you know, my grandma couldn't go to the hospital for certain stuff because, you know, they want you to stay away from the hospital, stay home and all this other shit, you know, and you know, she had some complications, man, after you know, she got the Gates juice. But yeah, I don't see how he's just smiling and so happy about that type of shit. It's weird.
People don't want to talk about the pandemic at this point and how we build the capacity to do trials where we practice, okay, are we ready? What would we need to do? And then we need to build better tools. For many of these problems where the total amount of money is going to be super limited, and some elections would make the money even more limited than it is today.
What do you mean by some elections? He don't want some people to get in positions because they will stop spending their money on what they want him to spend it on. Kind of weird, man, that he would actually say that out loud. Let's go back.
And for many of these problems where the total amount of money is going to be super limited, and some elections would make the money even more limited than it is today.
Interesting.
We have to innovate. And a great example of that is now the factories that make mRNA vaccines. A group in Belgium, funded by the foundation, can make those very inexpensively. And for me, the issue is not having vaccine factories in magic places. It's having enough capacity in the entire world that we can get vaccines to everyone. Because
now they putting all this money and building all this shit and doing all this in all these other countries to make vaccines for people, but why can't you do this with food? You know, it's weird because he's actively trying to stop farming, like us eating meat and a whole bunch of other shit. They want to attack our food sources, but then they want to put all this money behind and build all this other shit up for vaccines. That's kind of weird, man. It doesn't make sense.
Who you want to discriminate against. If the factories are cheap, you're going to have that capacity. In fact, more vaccines were made in India. We funded Serum 2 months into the pandemic. They created a factory. We had a challenge that those vaccines, which were going to Africa for a period, became unavailable. But that was a South issue.
But they make sure the first batch of vaccines always go to Africa, don't they? Wonder why that is. Thought the pandemic was everywhere. And they had something ready to go 2 months in. That's crazy. I just heard it out of his own mouth. You know, just letting YouTube know he just said all this. I didn't say this, YouTube. He just said this, YouTube. Don't strike me, YouTube. Commie bastards. Yeah, let's move it along, man. We're gonna move along to immigration that people think isn't real. You know, it's not happening around the world. You know, I don't know why people are so naive to this shit. Just because it's not in their face and they haven't seen it personally, they just think this shit is fake. Nah, let's get into the video.
Now, I've said this before.
Chicago, by the way, you know, they get the brunt end of the devil himself down that shit. Down, like, it's no saving Chicago. From the violence to the immigration shit, now it's no saving them, man.
If you give me 3 meals, housing, child care, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what? I come to Chicago too. And that's what they're doing. They're telling people, and they're sending money back to back to Venezuela, to come to Chicago because they're saying, hey, the good times are rolling there. They're taking care of everybody. Now, when we have Venezuelans that are driving cars, where did they get a driver's license? Where did they get insurance from? And then you have Venezuelans being caught with drugs and guns. Where are they getting them from? Now,
I mean, you know, it's crazy because how did they get approved so fast for licenses and all this other shit if they weren't going to get used in the voting in the elections that's coming up? You know, it's been a Democrat plan the whole time, bringing millions of people and try to get them ready, you know, try to legalize them to vote in time for elections. Because that's what, an extra 8 million votes for them? Like, yo, this shit's weird, but you know, that's what people signed on for. They love the misery, they love the destruction of the country, they love being poor and not being able to afford shit. You know, let them suffer. It just sucks that a lot of us have to suffer for the shit that these maniacs want, man, and the masses that are sheep. Let's move it along, man, on this beautiful scroll today. Now, this shit right here isn't beautiful at all, actually. And you know, I watched it one time, man, so I'm not really gonna probably try to watch this shit again. So I'm gonna just play it for y'all, man, so y'all can see what's going on right here. Let's get into it. And it is like, if you're a parent, if you're a parent with a logical brain, this shit definitely gonna piss you off, man. Just a warning.
A decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promises to begin giving her estrogen, female hormones, in 2 years.
Around 13. That's what I think. Yes, you're not going to develop breast buds on the blockers, but you're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Josie received the blockers as an implant in her arm.
It's okay if you cry.
So with all the bravery she could muster,
You're going to feel a little bit of a...
Josie held on tight
Ow!
as another chapter opened in this young girl's life.
Closing up the skin.
A lot of times it strikes me that had this happened just 20 years ago,
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to give her blockers and she would have had to go through male puberty. That terrifies me.
It's all done. Do you want a hug?
I don't know that she would have survived male puberty.
And you know, how disgusting and, you know, maniacal is that shit. I don't even know if maniacal is a fucking word, man, but that's what the parents are. And they should be charged, man. Child abuse, child whatever. You can take the whole fucking child crime book and just fucking throw it on them. Cause that shit is disgusting, man. How do people get brainwashed in this type of crazy shit, man? I ain't gonna speak too much on that though. Let's keep it moving. Oh, a whole bunch of weirdos, man. Hey, look, govern me harder, daddy, yo. Y'all gotta get on X, man. You gotta get on X. Shit is crazy. Like, we got people over here, you know, drooling at the mouth of a bite and having these type of speeches. Check this shit
It was
out.
well beyond me. This is not just a campaign. This is more of a mission. We cannot lose this campaign for the good of the country.
Damn, how much you gonna beg though? Maybe you should have did a better fucking job instead of destroying everybody's lives in the country.
It's not about me. It goes well beyond me. It goes about the country. And I think everybody knows it, and I think people are beginning to dawn on people. The American people get it. They understand what's going on. We're going to be able to say, God willing, that this generation help save democracy. This is not just a campaign. This is more of a mission. We cannot lose this campaign for the good of the country. It's not about me. It goes well beyond me. It goes about the country. And I think...
Like, what? Man, look, I'm tired of even listening to this shit, man. We're going to end this right here, man. I done got bored on camera from listening to this crazy shit. Y'all seen it like I seen it, man. What a world. I'm out.